Okay, you're able to see it properly?
Yeah. So
Okay,
can you
let me just
confirm that external voice is not coming? Am I loud and clear?
yeah, no external noise. Yeah, your voice is fine. Just give me a minute, I'll just unmute myself because otherwise I'll be there's yeah.
Okay. So let me know when need to start.
Hello, good
Yeah,
morning.
you can start as soon as you start seeing the screen. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Good
thank
morning,
you.
everyone.
Yeah,
My
hi Pallavi. Now you're audible. Yes, now you're audible. So I'm just requesting, I'm just making your co-host Pallavi, and if anyone comes in and if there is someone who is like if the sound is interrupting or something, please make sure that you mute them so we are not disturbed. Yeah, Viren, you can take over. I'll share the screen soon.
Take time to be silly. Preoccupied with my work, distracted by my running mental to-do list, I would become more formless than I used to be. Many of my resolutions were aimed at gaining control of my temper, but that wasn't enough. A happy atmosphere isn't created merely by the absence of nagging and yelling, but also by jokes, games, and tomfoolery. One day, while I was trying to prod everyone to put the groceries away as efficiently as possible, Jamie started showing off his juggling prowess with three oranges. Eliza and Eleanor were thrilled. I was annoyed. Come on, team, I scolded. Let's get this done. Jamie, put those oranges away and get the other bag. But we weren't in any hurry. Only later did it occur to me that I should have enjoyed the moment and allowed the core to be fun. Had I really become such a killjoy, the next time we were all unpacking groceries, I used two clementines to make goggles eyes at Eleanor and Eliza. They screamed with delight. Jamie laughed, and the groceries eventually got put away. Studies show that in a phenomenon called emotional contagion, we unconsciously catch emotions from other people, whether good moods or bad ones. Taking the time to be silly means that we are infecting one another with good cheer, and people who enjoy silliness are one third more likely to be happy. As I went through my day, I looked for opportunities to see the ridiculous side of things, to enter into the spirit of Eliza and Eleanor's play, and to goof around. Instead of getting impatient when Eleanor wants to play the game, where is Eleanor? For the millionth time, I should try to have as much fun as she having. Go off the path. Diana Brillant said, the eye must travel. One of the things I admire most about my mother is her adventurousness. She is always eager to go new place and have new experiences. She is not intimidated by new situations. She is constantly developing new areas of mini expertise. Just because she is interested in something, I wanted to be more like that. And my resolution to go off the path was meant to push me to encounter the unexpected thoughts, unfamiliar scenes, new people, and unconventional juxtapositions that are key sources of creative energy and happiness. Instead of always worrying about being efficient, I wanted to spend time on exploration, experimentation, discretion, and failed attempts that didn't always look productive. But how should I do this? In addition to the major interests that become the subject of my books, I had lesser interests that I often shoved aside to concentrate on my official subjects. So, for instance, because I was working on my happiness project, I allowed myself to read anything related to happiness, but I ignored my extraneous interest. Now I wanted to goad myself into exploring this neglected byways. I discovered, however, that I'd been so diligent about ignoring this interest that I couldn't call any to mind when I tried to pursue them. I started keeping an interest log to get a better sense of what naturally caught my attention. When I read a newspaper article with special curiosity, stop to look at a book in the bookshop, or become particularly engaged in a conversation, I noted the subject in my log. A hodgepodge emerged. Saint Terence of Lisieux, obesity, cognitive bias, Francis Galton, organ donation, winter counts, Joseph Cornell, biography, people's relationship with objects, child development, photography, Zen cons, any kind of character analysis, method of presentation of information, book design, and artists from the golden age of illustration. I soon lost interest in my interest log, but I did push myself to pursue anything that caught my attention. To read a theme, I read Christopher Alexander's A Pattern Language, Edward Tufts' The Visual Display of Quantitative Information, the complete essay of George Orwell, Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics, the letters of Flannery O'Connor, biographies of Tolstoy, and every single book written by L.M. Montgomery. Matthew Arnold wrote, all knowledge is interesting to a wise man. And I often thought that if I took some time to learn more about the political situation in the Middle East, the architecture of Louis Sullivan, or the legacy of John Marshall, I would find these subjects very interesting. And probably I would. But then I think, well, I'd like music more than I do. And I could probably make myself like it better if I tried. But I don't like having to try to make myself like things. I want to spend more time on the things that I already like. Along with following my jumble of interest, I search for other ways to go up the path. I skimmed newspaper section that I usually skip. I disciplined myself to look into the windows of stores instead of walking by. Obviously, I started carrying a camera everywhere to sharpen my eye. Each Monday in the month of May, I bought three new magazines, ones that I would never have read otherwise. The first Monday, I wandered into a magazine shop near my gym that I'd walked by 1,000 times, and I discovered a magazine gold mine. Racks lined the room from the floor to ceiling, and more piles fanned out across the floor. Three times, I walked to an unfamiliar subject area, shut my eyes, and pulled out a magazine at random. After making sure that I hadn't accidentally picked up a porn magazine, I headed for the case register. I ended up buying Equus, a special issue on the healthy horse, Papercraft Gourmet, Easy Ideas for Food, Card, and more, and Fresh Outlook, the premium Christian magazine, Spirit, Body, Life, Home, Business. That night, I looked at each of them from cover to cover. Never before had I thought about the challenges of taking a sick horse to a horse hospital or about hoof care. I would never given any thought to the strangely fascinating life cycle of horse parasites. I did remain puzzled, however, by why a magazine store in Midtown Manhattan stocked a magazine aimed at horse owners. I was intrigued by the taste of Peppercraft's gourmet sample invitation for a mocktail party. Join us for dinner and mocktails with a Caribbean flair as we celebrate our 30th anniversary. I understood, of course, that some people don't drink alcohol. Is it the case that people in social sets, even I missed any line? Is it the case that people in social sets where most people don't drink, observant Mormons, say a host would serve mocktails? In Fresh Outlook, a Bible quotation grabbed my attention all day long. I'd been annoyed by something a friend had done. I really wanted to criticize that person. I knew that if I did, I'd feel remorseful afterwards. But I was itching to pour out my irritation to some sympathetic ear. Then I came to a magazine page that had almost no text on it. so the words stood out in sharp relief. Where there is no wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no talebearer, strife ceases. Proverbs 26:20. Point taken. Each Monday, I have to admit, I dread reading the unfamiliar magazines. It felt like work and waste of time, not like fun. But every week, I was glad that I had done it. I always found something useful, provocative, or amusing. It was a painless, through slightly pricey way to get new and unexpected ideas into my brain. I intended to read a poem every night, but I never managed to make myself start that program. I am sure it would have been worthwhile, but it seemed like too much work. Maybe I will do that if I ever undertake a happiness project too. So, anyone want to continue from here?
Okay. Thank you so much. I can take ahead, please.
Okay.
Pallavi, can you just drop a message in the group that we have started? Because I think since Deepa dropped the message that she's not well, maybe some people might be confused also about the session. It's quite possible. Or Pranavi, Pallavi, someone just drop a message that we have started in the group because I am sharing the screen, so I won't be able to drop it. Yeah, Pallavi, and you want to read, na? You can take over. I just share screen table. Pranavi, if you want to read, put your name. Pallavi,
Yeah,
you can also.
Mansi, if you don't mind, I will just read for a few minutes and then I need to leave. So can you please give me a
Yes,
little of
please, Parnavi ji, please go
yeah,
ahead.
just 10 minutes, Pallavi ji. After that, you can have you can read it.
As long as you wish.
Okay, so you'll
Yeah,
be
thank you so
rejoining
much.
us or you want, Pranavi?
Yes,
You will be rejoining for the discussion
I
or you
would be in
want
the
me?
listening mode, no problem. But the reading part, no, I'll read it first so that I can just be in the listening mode later.
Sure, sure. Can you just drop a message in the group, please?
Sure.
About curiosity, yeah. Anyone. Pallavi, if Pallavi is reading, you drop it. Someone do it, like please. Or even you can drop it within. So yeah, I'm just sharing the screen, okay? I'm actually juggling today with sharing and hosting. So please excuse me, I have to switch screens. Uh, Sorry for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute, Pranavi. Can someone share? Pallavi, is it possible for you to share the screen? Like just
Um,
asking. I did not ask before.
I'm sharing the screen. Are you able to see?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
am already sharing, and you are also sharing.
No, I am sharing. Start
No,
it.
it's like
Oh, yeah,
Mansi,
it's my screen.
you have got two options. Like two people are sharing, you can switch on to any of the people. So for me, right now, Pallavi is
Okay, then in that case, I'll stop sharing. Then it will be easier for me to host also.
yeah.
Thank you, then, Pranavi. I did not know you are sharing also. I was sharing without understanding that. Okay, go on.
Okay, yeah. Start a collection. I would always wished that I had a collection. I would never collected anything other than the kick knacks. I would collected as a 18 years old. A collection provides a mission, a reason to visit new places, the excitement of the chase, a field of expertise, no matter how trivial, and often a bond with the other people. It sounded like so much fun. There are two kinds of collectors. The first kind seeks to have a complete set of stamps, of coins, of Barbie dolls, and keeps a comprehensive and orderly kind of collection. The second kind of collector is driven by sheer desire, by the siren call of objects. My mother of the second camp has a tremendous knowledge and passion for objects and materials. She spends a lot of time visiting museums and walking through her stores. Her collections of Japanese ikebana baskets, tartanware, royal Beirut porcelain tomatoes, and in particular her magnificent collection of Santa Clauses gives her great pleasure. I wanted to start a collection, but what should I collect? I didn't have enough passion to justify an expensive collection, and I didn't want to collect junk. I decided to collect bluebirds because bluebirds are a symbol of happiness. As far as I know, this connection arose from Maurice Maeterlinck's play The Bluebird. A fairy tells two children the bluebird stands for happiness, and she orders them to set out to find the bluebird for her sick daughter. After many adventures, the children, one second, yeah, after many adventures, the children come home unsuccessful to find the bluebird waiting for them. It is the bluebird we were looking for. We have been miles and miles and miles, and he was here all the time. This unsubtle moral, of course, was quite fitting for my happiness project, for no other reason except to keep my resolution to go off the path. One afternoon, I stepped into an oddly comprehensive hardware store that's tucked into my neighborhood. It's a small, yet carries everything from light bulbs to wooden puzzles to vacuum cleaners to fancy candles. I found myself staring up at an array of realistically carved, battery operated, breezy singers, birds which are outfitted with motion sensors so they move and twitter when anyone walks by. I wouldn't have considered buying one of the birds, except that I noticed that one of the birds was a bluebird. I stood transfixed. I could buy it for my collection, and so I did. Another day, I went with a friend down to the flower district. We wandered around looking at the fake and fresh flowers and the enticing cheap decorative gewgaws. I'm fascinated by bags of tiny plastic babies, fake Zina heads, and butterflies made of gold sequins, and she's exactly the same way. Hey, I asked, do you think any of these places would sell anything bluebird related? Having a collection transformed an aimless walk into a quest. Are you kidding? She said. There is a store that sells fake birds on this very corner. How she knew this, I have no idea. I bought a realistic bluebird for $2.71. A year ago, I wouldn't have allowed myself to make these purchases. I wouldn't have cluttered my office with bluebirds. I would have felt too guilty about taking time away from work to do nothing. But my resolutions, like time take time for projects and go off the path, had changed my attitude. I saw that there was value in taking time to play, and along the same lines, I would come to see the merit of treasuring a little clutter. I would be relentlessly purging everything superfluous from our apartment when a friend said to me, remember to leave a little mass. Really? I asked, surprised. Why? Every house needs a few junk drawers where you can find unexpected things. It's good to have a bit of chaos someplace with some things that don't really belong anywhere, but that you want to keep. You never know when stuff like that will come in handy. Plus, it's just nice to know it's there. As soon as she said it, I knew she was right. Some place I need an empty shelf, and some place I need a junk drawer. Maybe my bluebirds do make for a bit of clutter, but that's fine. I want my office to house some playful elements that don't have to be useful. As I wired my bluebird to the standing lamp next to my desk, I was glad that I would gone off the path. It was fun. What's more viewed by this fun? I had the mental wherewithal to sit down and tackle something that I would have been postponing for a long time, figuring out how to post my own photographs onto my blog. So, although I felt as though I would be wasting time, in fact, I would be quite productive, just not in a typing at my computer kind of way. The work on Eliza's scrappy cap had given me an idea for another kind of collection. I started a happiness box in which I would collect all sorts of little trinkets meant to trigger happy thoughts and memories. I had the perfect box, a box I loved, but that had never really been suitable for any purpose. My college roommate had given it to me. It was old, with a lid decorated with two panels painted with roses and two panels of cloudy mirror. It bothered me to have it sitting around unappreciated. Now I had a special plan for it. I put in an ancient, tiny Snoopy memo pad that reminded me of my sister when she was little. I added a miniature china teacup from my grandmother's teacup collection. I put in a figurine of Dorothy to remind me of home and Eliza's early love of ruby red slippers. Those ruby slippers have always had the power to take you back to Kansas. She would croon, just a moment, yeah, she would croon as she would reenact the climatic scene from The Wizard of Oz. Just tap your heels together 3 times, Dorothy, and you will be home in 2 seconds. I put in my last pair of Coke bottle glasses made before they had the technology to make the lenses thin. They are hilarious. Now that I don't have to wear them. A small cloth Little Red Riding Hood doll reminded me of all the times I would read the story of Little Red Hoodie to Eleanor. A tiny Lego cone shaped tree stood for all the Christmas trees of my childhood. I put in a New York Public Library bookmark, a reference to my favorite New York City institution. I put in an old, worn set of ties to symbolize chance. I put in American Girl's miniature card featuring a bluebird. The happiness box was as usual as the toy jars. I had lots of little objects lying around in odd corners that I would kept for sentimental reasons. They were clutter when scattered around, but extremely satisfying as a collection. I asked blog readers about their collection. Did they find collecting fun? What did they collect? Yeah, anyone can please go ahead. And Pallavi, thank you so much for giving a chance for me. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you so much. My collection gave me great joy. On the weekends and whenever I travel, I have an excuse to poke through little shops, flea, market, etc. It is not as much fun if I am not looking for something. I collect glass, snow globes, bakelite jewelry, light up globes, and vintage Girl Scout stuff. It reminds me of my travel and good times with my friends. And also my apartment look like me and I think stylish without me spending much money. I love collecting vintage religious artwork. Yes, I have a few collections. Vintage cake toppers, heart hankies, vintage bluebird things, and I think a few more. I used to collect heart, but I started getting heart everything from people as kid. Then I obligated to display them, then took the fun out of it. I think it is important to know that what you find fun can change. I have gotten I have gotten rid of most of my doll collection because I don't enjoy them anymore. My mom says save them for your daughter, but I am sure she had had more fun making her own collection than inheriting 10, 30, 40 dolls that means nothing to her. I will just save a few. As for collection, too much stuff displayed around the house make me feel suffocated. I love to see how other people decorate their home for the holidays, but to me it is always seems like a chore, not fun. We tend to do a simple, meaningful decoration for Christmas, and that is about it. On the note of collection, I am sure they are fun for others, but I simply don't want to store, clean, and maintain more things. I had rather spend my time reading, decorating my house, and trying new recipes. After having started both of my collection, I had to admit I don't have a true collector personality. Maybe one day I will develop an interest in something that is intense enough to make a collection interesting, but I haven't found it yet. Turn out I can't just decide. I will start a collection and tap into a collector's high. Alas, that secret of adulthood is true. Just because something is fun for someone else doesn't make it fun for me. May by the end of May, I had figured out that fun falls into three categories: challenging fun, accommodating fun, and relaxing fun. Challenging fun is most rewarding because most demanding. It can create frustration, anxiety, and hard work. It often requires e- errands. It takes time and energy. In the end, however, it pays off with most satisfying fun. Usually less challenging but still requiring a fair bit of effort is accommodating fun. A family trip to the playground is accommodating fun. Yes, it is fun, but I am really there because my children want to go. Was it Jerry Seinfeld who said, "There's no such thing as fun for the whole family"? Going to a family holiday dinner, even going to a dinner and a movie with friends require accommodation. It strengthens relationship. It builds memory. It's fun, but it takes a lot of effort, organization, coordinating with other people, and well accommodation. Relaxing fun is easy. I don't have to hone skills to take action. There is very little coordination with other peoples and preparation involved. Watching TV, the larger consumer of the world's time after sleeping and work is relaxing fun. Researchers shows that challenging fun and accommodating fun over the long term bring more happiness because they are source of element that make people happiest. A strong personal bond, mastery, and atmosphere of growth, relaxing fun tend to be passive by design. So, if relaxing fun is the least fun kind of fun, why is watching TV so popular? Because although we get more out of challenging fun and accommodating fun, we must also put more into it. It takes energy and forethought. The resolution for this month were a bit of struggle. I had expected to find it fun to have fun, to go off the path, to start a collection, and it was a bit dismayed to realize how attached I was to my routine, how uninterested I was in trying new things, how much I disliked turning away from my self assigned reading and writing. Was I actually such a dull creature of habit? Then I thought, wait, novelty is stimulating, and it clearly was good for me from time to time to do something different. But my effort had the unexpected benefit of making me realize how much I loved my habit and the familiar stop in my day. The pleasure of doing a thing in same way at the same time every day and savoring it is worth noting. As Andy Warhol observed, either once only or every day. Either once only or every day. If you do something once, it is exciting. And if you do it every day, it is exciting. But if you do it, say, twice or just almost every day, it is not good anymore. I loved walking through the doors of library just that is just a block from my house almost where I did most of my writing. I loved my three coffee shops where I worked when I wasn't in the library. I loved adding yet another volume to my tower of happiness related book. I loved my workday. For me, that was fun. As I finished up my month devoted to play, I was struck again by my good fortune in life. I didn't face an enormous obstacle of happiness. One of my main goal of my happiness project was to prepare myself for adversity, to develop the self-discipline and the habit to deal with the bad things that when it happened. But as I posted to my blog, I worried that people who faced a major happiness trial, such as serious illness, job loss, divorce, addiction, depression, might be put off. Would they think, who is she to talk about happiness when everything in her life is fine? I posted a few questions to ask readers their view. Yes, who will like to take ahead? Somita ji, would you? Mansi?
Pallavi, I'm actually just walking and it's difficult to read on the phone. So thank you for giving an opportunity. But today I'll be in listening mode. And once I order the copy at home physically, it would be better. Then I'll start.
Okay. Viren sir?
I'll read Pallavi
Yeah,
because
am I
I
audible?
think everyone you would like to read Viren again? I don't have an issue. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I can. My voice
Sure,
is
sure.
clear, right?
Yeah, clear, clear. Go on now.
Okay. Are you more likely to think about happiness and to take action to try to build happiness when everything in your life is going well, or when you are facing a catastrophe? If you are facing a catastrophe, does it help to think about taking little, ordinary steps to build happiness? Having lunch with a friend, making your bed in the morning, going outside for a quick walk, or are modest effort like that dwarfed by magnitude of what you are facing? My hope is that the ideas presented in the Happiness Project book and blog can help people trying to be happier within their ordinary life, and also help people trying to be happier in the context of major happiness challenges. Do you think that following this kind of strategies does help to build happiness? Many readers responded. They seem to agree that taking steps to be happy, whether in the context of ordinary life or catastrophe, was the worth effort. I'm just zooming my screen. I think it's important to recognize these happy moments when they are happening. As one who has struggled with chronic pain, I think it's a good day if I can get out and have that lunch with a friend or meet a deadline or notice truth sunshine. Recognizing happy moments keeps me from being overwhelmed when the pain is too much. I think you don't understand what happiness is until you are forced through adversity to look for it. I was discovered last year. The anger and sadness in both me and my children has been extreme. One child failed 2 semesters of school and finally started counseling for depression. Another one has been in trouble twice for alcohol related problems. We handle things so differently. I work hard to find positive ways of dealing with my anger and sadness rather than just numb the pain. It's all about living in the moment and appreciating the smallest things. Surrounding yourself with things that inspire you and letting go of obsession that want to take over your mind. It is a daily struggle sometimes and hard work, but I do understand happiness begins with my own attitude and how I look at the world. I think adversity magnifies behavior. Tend to be a control freak, you will become more controlling. Eat for comfort, you will eat more. And on positive, if you tend to focus on solutions and celebrate small successes, that's what you will do in adversity, but with a correspondingly bigger success at the end. I started what has amounted to my own happiness project about 4 years ago, my necessity rather than my choice. When my husband of 30 years died, I realized that if I didn't make an active, conscious effort to figure out how to be happy, it wasn't going to be happen. By this age, almost everyone has given at least some thought to happiness and how to go about achieving it. But in coming to terms with life as it how, I realized that I wasn't even entirely certain what the hell happiness was. I think a real life-taking catastrophe can provide insight into happiness that you couldn't have any other way. But the more you know about what happiness really means for you before you come to the point, the better equipped you will be to handle it. By all means, work on understanding happiness now. I have had a difficult time this past few years, and happiness was something I needed like water in a desert. I deliberately looked for every little thing that might lift my mood, anything to get me through. One of the things I found was blogging. I practice yoga daily and meditate, which has provided great peace. I tend a vegetable garden, look after family and pets, cook and search for books I love to read. I make an art. I make art and keep a journal. On sunny days, I think great. A good day to be outdoors, and on great day, I think great. A good day to be indoors. It's all in your attitude. I choose to be happy in spite of whatever drama that is going on in my life. I was married a very long time, and in all those years, life revolved around my husband. Long story short, dumped me. Probably when things got too boring. Don't know. I went into a depression for years. Why? I had no life of my own. I didn't have the first clue as to who I was or what I wanted. I really never occupied to me in all those years of marriage that I needed to have a little tiny place for me to have my own things going on in life. Before the catastrophe, not after. After was too late. I was waiting to die, but I didn't die. God isn't ready for what little there is of me yet. Now I see that it's like saving money. You can't save for when you get laid off. After you get laid off, rather, you have to save while you have a job and the money is still coming on. Life is like that. You have to do while you are able to think of what you want, what you like, what needs it will fill. God, it will enhance your life. How it will help you to maintain you so that you have some results when crunch time comes. For me, when things are going well and I am happy, I don't think about happiness too much. It's when I start become unhappy or depressed that I concentrate on it more and try to think of ways to improve it. I have been through two serious bouts of depression in the last 4 years, and because I have experienced this in the past, I am very aware of warning signs and try to catch it before it gets too bad. I find that keeping busy, especially seeing other people, is very helpful. It can be tough, as sometimes the last thing you want to do is see people or do anything at all. But if you can force yourself, you will unusually end up having a good time and feeling better for it. The other strategy that certainly works for me, although it can be difficult to implement, is to become aware of your interior monologue and start arguing with it if it gets too negative. Then I feel down. Then I will start thinking how useless I am and pathetic and how nobody can really like me, etc. etc. I find that determinedly interrupting these thoughts and forcing myself to think the opposite or doing something that prevents thinking, like reading a book or watching a film, can really help avoid the downward spiral. I admit mentally arguing with your thoughts can feel silly, but it does help. Remembering that joy exists is tough when you have been traumatized. Joy is a big concept and utterly unbelievable when we are in the depths of catastrophe. But happiness is more accessible. We can be miserable and then find ourselves laughing, even if just for a few seconds. It reaffirms the will to live and the form there, and from there we can branch out. Happiness and the belief we have in it is the foundation for survival. As a survivor of life threatening trauma, it's been the small idea of happiness that propelled me towards the larger idea of joy that eventually freed me from complex PTSD. And now here I am, happy daily and always striving for that joyful moment. It can be done, and your project, anyone's happiness project, can be starting point for the long road recovery. I think you can bank happiness. That is to say, learn about yourself and what makes you happy while the sailing is smooth. When the waves swell up and get rough, you have the memories in the time you were happy. You have been there and done that, so you know it's possible to do it again. It's a matter of weathering the storm and navigating to your happiness destination. It probably won't be the same path, but it is achievable. Reading these comments strengthened my conviction that happiness isn't something we should consider only when life is going well, and also isn't something we should consider only when life is going badly. As Samuel Johnson said, the business of the wise man is to be happy in whatever conditions life happens to offer. So we need to continue.
Yeah, we are done with the reading. We'll continue with the discussion for a while and then close. Thank you for sharing the screen, Pallavi, and thank you everyone for being here. So yeah, we are open for discussion. We can just start speaking whatever we would like to share about this theme and happiness in general. Who all are taking the happiness project seriously, and are you working towards it or anything you plan to work? How is it going? Just curious, wanting to know. And how? What do you think about the theme of the month, playfulness? Are you going to stick with the same or going to take something of your own? Feel free to share whatever you feel like. Yeah, go on. Yeah, Sobita, you want to speak?
Yeah, yes, thank you, Mansi. I mean, it's very wonderful book, and it's more of thinking. Like, you just read a page and think a lot about it, because it helps you to do a lot of self reflection. See, there is a beautiful, if you know your core strength, right? So there is a very beautiful, I'll just share, like, if you people are in the Evolve group, I will share a link where you can find your what are your core strength. So suppose if you know your core strength through an assessment of, there are some 50 to 80 100, there are 100 questionnaires maybe approximately, and very simple questions which wanted to know more about you, like what you like, what you don't like, in that situation what you do it. So on the basis of your answer, you will get an evaluation report saying that what are your core strengths. Now once you know your core strength, then and you start working over it. For example, if the kindness, love for learning is my core strength, so they will give you the top 5 of your core strength in that report. Now once you know your core strength, try to do an activity associated with your core strength. Now when you do an activity associated with the core strength, for example, if kindness is my core strength, and if I do one random activity of kindness every single day, like if I'm going for a walk and see a small child, and and I give a chocolate or something like that, which gives happiness or smile on her face, and then I feel very good about it after doing that particular action, then these are the small moments of happiness which you need to capture. So whenever you are facing any adverse situation in your life, and suppose if love for reading or love for learning is my core strength, what will I do is, I will just immediately bump into any reading club, or any the good discussions going somewhere, or to my sessions, and that immediately from that low spiral I will go back and bounce back to the good high emotional state. So this is all happiness is about, where you are consciously taking an effort according to your strength, that what activities actually gives you an happiness. So suppose, for in my case, for my daughter, when she have a bad day in the college, with so much of tough day, she comes back home very sad state, right? She enters a room, she takes a painting, she just do a beautiful painting and 2 hours of deep painting, because she likes that. So if the painting helps her to de-stress her, she will do the painting, and then after 1 hour when she comes out of the room, she will not be the same person. She goes into very happy emotional state. So happiness is one thing is, just try to understand what are your core strength, what are your hobbies, or what are the moments of the life which gives you happiness, and do that random activity, do that activity related to your thing, and you just you can face any adverse situation from a low to higher state, even though you can consciously do that activity, right? Otherwise, if we don't know what is our strength, if we don't know what are hobbies, if we don't capture what are the happy moments of our life, then it is very slippery slope where we get deeper into that spiral of negative thoughts coming up, negative self-talk will come up. So immediately these three things help me in my life, as per my experiences, that whenever you face any difficult situation, just pause and ask yourself, where is my focus? So is it my focus on the glass which is half full or half empty? Now moment I just then I said, okay, my thoughts are going all negative, let me focus on what is good happening in my life. So I have changed my focus. Then in this book, what the author said is, build an actionable plan around it. Okay, now I shifted my focus. Now what strategy I need to do it so that I can enhance my emotional state from bad to good. So I will take an actionable step. For example, in my case, I love walking. In my daughter's case, she loves painting. So these are the happy moments. I am taking an action. Okay, and then the strategy I'm build up, that whenever I go in a low spiral thing, these things I will do it, so that I will shift my focus. These are my actionable plans, and when I do these action, it will help me to uplift my state of emotion to a higher level. So this is all author said, that the two things, one is learn to know what you love to do, and whenever you bump into any adverse situation, consciously take an effort to do that thing, so that you will be getting happiness by your choice. Right? So this is what I could able to connect the dot while reading it, right? Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing your view on happiness and how to uplift ourselves. Yes, the theme of the month is playfulness, and the
Okay,
author is talking about how she is trying to imbibe that in her life, and then she
okay,
keeps us open, sharing her perspective and her things, and
okay.
she just keeps it open for us to explore it for ourselves. So yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
thank you for adding that. And yes, Somita, you can always share about that, whatever you shared about that form
Right,
or
right,
whatever in the Key
right.
Club group,
Huh, right,
because
right, right, right.
we are all from there right now, so it
Okay,
would be
okay.
easy for everyone to access that.
Yes, 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 yes. I have
Yeah,
to
since you
go and check
mentioned
it because
about it,
long time back I did it, 5 to 6 years back. So I will
yeah.
just find it out from my library and just let you know, people, that what are if you know your core strength. No, sometimes we don't know our core strength and we just bump into it. Those spiral of negative thoughts and problems. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you,
yeah. No
Mansi. Thank
problem.
you.
Yeah. If you find it, you can share about it, since you mentioned it over here.
Yes, yes, yes.
You're
Sure.
free to share that. Okay. Thank you so
Sure,
much.
sure, sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
Mansi. Thank you. So it's Monday till Friday, right? This reading?
Yeah, yeah. Monday to Friday. It depends from book to book.
Okay,
This time, the Happiness Project book that we are taking is just 2 days a month, because it's the format is different for this. But
okay,
otherwise, when we take up some book, it depends on the poll and everything,
okay,
how people choose, and then we decide the time. And mostly this time
okay,
is fixed, or in
okay,
there is one time slot in the afternoon, we pick something over there. So it
okay.
depends on people's preference, like. So yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll
Okay.
stay in touch. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Whoever wants to share next, who would like to go next? Viren, Pallavi,
Yeah, so
Pranavi? Yeah, hi
yeah, the
Viren.
one point I like most from this today's reading is that you cannot save money when you get laid off, right? And that is the same. Like if you are in the traumatic situation, you cannot be happy at that time. So whenever the situation is smoother for you, you can create your happiness moment. And in the traumatic situation, you can revisit that happiness moment. So that is the one point I like most.
But Viren, many of them fall into it. That time, the mind, when emotions are high, intelligence is low. So whenever you are in a high traumatic situation, you forgot. So that is the reason you need to create your growth space, because anything out of sight is out of mind. So you just write down what are the activities which give you a happiness when, as you said rightly, in your good state of mind, and write it and stick it somewhere where you can see it. Otherwise क्या होता है, if you are in a fall of traumatic situation and if you try to pull it back, वो बिल्कुल it will not allow you. So if it is everything which is in front or out of your sight, it is out of your mind. So make sure that those things which you love doing it should be at the place where you can see it, ताकि कभी भी emotional turmoil में आए उसको देखो and you start taking action, rather than otherwise we forget very easily. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So, any ideas on how we are going to do this theme? All of us going to take the playfulness theme for the month, or going by some other thing? And any ideas, any suggestions about how are we going to take that forward, or anything from the author's point where you really liked some point or something you want to highlight that?
Yeah, I love the beginning of the chapter from where we begin today, not the chapter. Silliness is powerful. So I found ki yeah, we can find happiness in the silly moments rather than being too serious. Say here the author says her husband was juggling with the oranges. That irritated her, but that was bringing joy to her children. So so we can find the happiness in small things. Secondly, we must go off the path. In the जैसे कि I remember Sumita ji says, just try to something new, something more creative, something more. This is also what author suggests कि we should go off the path, read unfamiliar magazines, seeing the thing that we are not expecting from the life, so that we can judge ourselves whether that find happiness or it in it. We can start a new collection as the author collected the bluebirds. So collecting yeah, so but that can work for someone, can't work for someone. And in the last, the author categorized with three categories of fun: challenging fun, accommodating fun, and relaxing fun. Where the author says कि relaxing fun is very easy, saying watching the TV, but challenging and accommodating fun offers you more happiness, but it is challenged to how to plan it out. It demands more efforts, but it brings more satisfaction. Yeah. So I concur here with the author कि planning family trips with friends or with family brings more happiness, and it is more yeah, what to say, yeah. So as Sumita ji rightly said, we should recognize our fun and try to help it as a key to make when we are not so happy. Yeah, thank you. That's all.
Pallavi, this is the most important blueprint of mental health, where L of the mental stands for laugh on a silly things. So try to add humor in your life, and kuch, be creative, do certain humorous and silly things in your life so that you laugh more. When you laugh more, there is certain chemical has been excreted in our body which help you to curb the cortisol hormone or the stress hormone. So because nowadays every house have a stress is very common. Now how to curtail the stresses? Only by doing silly things, by laughing on the silly things, laughing on yourself only, and doing certain acts so that you inculcate that laugh to your life.
It
Yeah.
it
Good morning to you
just
all.
so Mitaji, your sharing also made me remember कि happiness is a contagious, and as you was speaking, I can found that happiness here, that smile on your face, and it brought to my face also. Yeah, I
Wow.
resonate how much it is contagious. Thank you so much.
बिल्कुल एब्सोल्यूट और कहते हैं ना पतझड़ स्वयं आ जाता है खुशी मेहनत मतलब पेड़ लगाने के लिए बाहर लाने के लिए मेहनत करनी पड़ती है सो वन थिंग इज यू सेड दैट रिलैक्स्ड हैप्पीनेस इट्स इजी टू वॉच टीवी एंड देन फर्स्ट थिंग व्हिच यू सेड इज चैलेंजिंग जहाँ पे हमें कॉन्शियस एफर्ट करने पड़ेंगे और उस कॉन्शियस एफर्ट तभी कर सकते हैं जब यू सिट विथ योरसेल्फ हैव योर मी टाइम रिफ्लेक्शन व्हाट इज ब्रिंगिंग मी हैप्पीनेस dance over the silly things sings in the bathroom no matter how much bad singer or good singer you are, but whatever you love, just do it freely and live for yourself more than because when your cup is full, you can pour happiness in others people cup.
So true. Pranavi ji,
Yeah.
you were saying something, I guess I
Yeah. Yeah, I got a good lot of takeaways from here because you have given a lot of information, Pallavi and Shobit as well. Thank you all. And I read these two lines which have just got my eye on it. That is, we have something called as at our homes we have a cluttered space and as well as empty space. And the author tells that that's okay if you have a clutter at your home. That is also the beauty of the house. And in that clutter, in the sense, what she's trying to tell is like there would be so many things which would trigger happiness back to you. It may be a silly thing or it may be a bigger thing. But then you need to save that particular space at your home. So whenever you feel low or when you just go and try to declutter the house, you would see all the small stuffs. She's telling not to throw away because they trigger a lot of happiness. It may not be of use right now, but then it brings a lot of joy. In that way, I have saved so many things at my home, but yes, I have one more house. So those all joyful things I'll put in that place. At times, my husband keeps telling me, what's the use of storing all this clutter? But then I feel that no, whenever I see them, I feel so much joyous. So I have my kids, those newborn dresses and their first birthday dresses and all that. So whenever I show to my kids now, they feel so happy. And I have saved their few of their notebooks and their artwork as well. So they feel so happy. And even we could just connect back to those days, like how we have groomed our kids and how playful it was. So immediately you would get connected to that frequency. And for sometimes you can be with yourself and you can connect to that playfulness as well. So that I have learned that never think that it's a clutter. Some clutter is always beautiful and it also adds a lot of joy to your home. Thank you all.
Yeah, I really like the way, like, just changing the perspective can make a lot of difference. Very true. Yeah, for me, I'm going to go by this theme, because it's my daughter's vacation, and I'm very much looking forward to do some activities or things with her, and which is so that is why it's really aligning with what I want to do for the month also. So it's very much in sync, and I'm happy to have this as a theme. So yeah, let's see now. Looking from the and I like that perspective where she shared that be prepared well in like with that letter. The letter was really long one, and in that day she shared right like after that like it's in the letter at the end may that writer had shared that you just it's better to be practicing it when things are good going good for you so that when adversity jumps in you are prepared because you have known that place and you have been there and you can just take yourself to that place because it's like a known territory for you. So yeah, I really like that part, and that really is something I would like to say that could be like my takeaway for the day today from the reading so far. We are looking forward to implement it, and yeah, since anyone who's already like doing something related to this since the last few months and want to share anything around that, any changes, any new additions since you started with this book, any practical implementations to share? Yeah.
Um, I have implemented on my meditation, Mansi. Before that, I used to bunk here and there. But these days, what I'm thinking is these all books are vibing me. I mean, they're preparing me so well with such lovely energies and the discussions and all. So immediately my heart is giving a hint to just get up, sit and meditate, because in the adverse condition, if you start meditating, I mean, when you're in the turbulence condition or when you're in deep pain, if you start meditating, unconsciously you would start brooding on it rather than having peace of mind on it. So these days I'm getting awakened in such a way that when everything else is beautiful, I'm so thankful to God that He is giving me that energy to sit and work on myself. So I think from past 2-3 months, I'm waking on time, and I'm least bothered how the things are going on. But then at least sitting, grounded and taking a certain posture at a regular intervals is working a lot on me. And even to the coming to the music part, I'm doing it, but then these days I'm doing it in an arduous way, because when you try to get connected to the rhythm and all, you are in total union with the universe. So again, as Shobita said that, when you are in the painful conditions, you can't on your Shruti box and get connected to music. But when you take that as a strong habit, in the future, adverse conditions or whatever, you will have that positive willpower to immediately connect to yourself. And in that way, a lot of stress would be removed out. And you would be in total union with the universe. And that would give you a lot of clarity to solve the adverse conditions as well. So that's it. Thank you.
Wow, that was a nice share, Pranavi. Yeah, thank you for that. So yeah, we actually, the purpose of all this reading and whatever we are doing is to bring about and experience that change in our own personal lives. And as far as we are doing that and reaching that place or experiencing something better, there's no point. So yeah, thank you. These shares are more valuable. So yeah, anything, Somita
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Pallavi,
No, no,
anything
just
to add?
wanted to share. Thank you to Pranavi. Wonderful point. She put it out. Meditation is something which is a need of the hour, and that's called as a conscious effort of living a life from accidental to conscious living. So yes, meditation really will work. Rewires our brain. How our perspective to see the situation as an adverse. Once you are able to do meditation, how beautiful the life will become. So just practice and inculcate this habit of meditation. When you are in a happy state of mind, it is very easy to meditate. And once you start meditating and seeing its effect, then adverse solving an adverse condition will be really get work for you. So yes, thank you, Pranavi, for bringing that point in today's thing. It's very important.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you for adding so much value, everyone. Yeah. So yeah, I think we are done sharing. Anyone else wants to add something, Pranav and Pallavi, or we can leave? I think we're good to go.
Yeah, have a great day.
Yeah. Have a great day.
You
Have a
too all.
wonderful
Have a
week.
nice day. I think today is
Yeah.
Friday, right?
Yeah. It's Friday
Yeah.
today,
So
so yeah,
happy
looking
weekend.
forward. Yeah, happy weekend, and let's see how to go about our book next. So, are we going to take up a book? Do we want to take a break? What do you both suggest? Like we can, and I don't know, there are no more people, so I'm just asking both of you. So, are you willing to go forward to with the new book, or you wish to take a break or something?
Yeah, I'm looking forward for a new book.
Yes, me too,
Yeah,
Mansi.
more,
I'll be
yeah, I
dropping a
love,
poll. I don't know if the afternoon time there are less people, so let's see. So I'll just drop a poll related to some books that I have in my mind that could be a good read for us. Meanwhile, depending on whoever votes, will decide the time, because there are some people who can join in the afternoon and not in the morning, and some can join in the morning and not in the afternoon. So let's see which book is getting selected, and then accordingly we'll choose the time.
And
So
afternoon
let's
book
see.
reading thought is not there, no, Mansi, as of now.
Yeah, as of now, because we are looking someone to take lead actually, because for me I'm finding it difficult to uh take it like twice
True,
now.
true. That's the mid
So
of the day,
I
no.
want
So
someone to be there volunteering for one of the times, so at least so I can be free from it, and
true,
the thing
true.
can go on.
Yeah, I can
So
totally understand.
personally, I can take up like one time at least for now, and I think even going forward, because things are getting different, like I'm getting busier now with some other things and course launches and so many other things. So I don't know, like, let's see how it
I
evolves.
don't know about the month of May and June, but then later I may have some scope for Mansi. But
What
then
you
I
may
can't
have.
promise. I have some, I mean, I would have some time in the month of June and July. Not even June, sorry, July and August. So these
So
two
you'll have
months,
time or you'll get busy? I'm just
no,
curious.
these 2 months I'm literally busy to take that the afternoon session. I would
No,
love
that's
to do.
completely okay. It's understandable. But see, what I have observed now, what happens is, like, even just like how today it happened, right? Like, most of us who are regular, Deepa, Rajesh, Richa, they're not there. So, what
Yes,
happens, like, when the regular people are missing out, the conversation is different and the
true.
discussions are not are different and the energy is different. So, what happens, like, we need at least a few people to be regular and keen on
Yes,
joining,
they can
implementing,
maintain that ignition or
to
the
maintain the
tempo.
momentum of the group.
True.
If that is not happening, just random people joining every day and
Yes,
then
yes,
releasing something and going away, that is not serving us well,
true,
is what I feel.
true,
So there's no
true.
point. Becomes it takes a toll on the one who is leading, right? To be very
Exactly.
honest, I
True.
slept at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon in the late night because I was working on something, and I was literally about to message Deepa that maybe may not be able to join, but let's see if I can. And then Deepa was not well, right, today. So I thought maybe others are joining. So I might just take it because I was up and I was there to support her. But then now as we are not having too many people, I don't know. Like, I just feel like maybe we would have just canceled the session and kept
Mhm.
it on Monday or something, right? Like, so this is what
True.
becomes like when you take the lead, you're more
Yes,
responsible. And if you're
yes,
not getting the equal kind of support, then it becomes really difficult to go on.
I
And
can
it
totally
doesn't
understand.
seem worth it, right? So, yeah, that's what I'm really concerned about. So, since if we have people who are keen and very much interested and a decent number and someone just ready to support a lead, I'm okay. Pranavi, if you are really interested, what you can do, if you're not able to lead, you can choose to support the leader, whoever it is.
Mhm.
So even that
I
could
think
be also help.
that would work
Yeah.
out well because in the afternoons,
And
if my
then when
husband,
you're ready to lead, like maybe in the July or whatever month, then you can take a lead. And it's not about, see, why we are talking about just one book or leading something, because that's like you can explore it, right? So
true,
it's just a
true,
commitment of 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever, however big the book is. So
yeah,
that is what I'm expecting, at least that much to be shown initiative by someone, like not you, me, or Pallavi, but everyone in the group, like. It's like an opportunity also to explore your leadership skills
and
for
my
everyone.
personality is like, Mansi, I didn't expect that if you would connect at 7, I would connect back because you have shifted the time, no? So in a way, I'm like more connected now than the 7:30 schedule. So
Okay.
I need to do a little of the deep engineering work, and I need to allow myself to accept that this is the schedule I'm supposed to follow. So I need to do a
No, no,
little
it's
work on
completely
myself.
okay. It's completely okay. See, you're at least showing up and you're at least making it a priority, right? And that is
Yes,
how you're
yes,
experiencing the change.
yeah.
That's not how it is with others. So we need to do something or we need to change or maybe direct something in this regards. I'm very much detached, I'm very much okay to even stop with the read aloud sessions if they're not working anymore. So we
Hmm.
experienced the magic before, but if you're not doing it, it's no point draining something, right? Like just pushing it on. And but with the people that we have in in the group, I'm just concerned how can we help them with reading and betterment, with books betterment and all of that we commit in any form. Not read aloud is just one of the things we started with. That need not be the only thing. That's just a part of it. So let's see. However it evolves, I'm fine. So yeah,
Yeah.
and as
All
far as
right.
we all collectively want it to go on, it will go on.
Yes. It should. It's
Yeah,
actually union of all the readers' hearts to
yeah,
to
because we are
work.
all co-creating, right? Every time,
Yes, exactly.
so it all goes together. So yeah. Okay then. Thank you. See you
Yeah.
all.
Happy
My,
weekend. Have a
happy
great day.
weekend.
Bye bye.
I'll be dropping some polls. So accordingly, we'll take some calls on it. Pranay and like so now it's just two of us. We might have this meeting, core meeting in this weekend.
Sure,
So
sure.
yeah,
I will give my best.
keep active on the group because maybe all the decisions will be taken there. When to
Yep.
have it, who all is doing, and all of that. So just keeping you updated. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye bye. Take care.
All right.
Happy
Bye
weekend.
bye.